Good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Friday, April 25th, 2025. I, of course, am with Hammer Solutions, the home of products like Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, soon Agent Success, maybe a name to the Rate Sensei. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for coming. It is my daily mortgage rate update. You can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, like my friend Allison Foy. Good morning, Allison. Hope all is well in your world. Cindy Pulliam, great to see you. James Mahan, good morning, sir. Yeah, TGIF, it's been a good week, and we are ending the week on a good note right now. So I'm excited about that. We're going to go over the charts, but yeah, we got some good stuff there. The question is, what are we going to see next week when we get the jobs data? I'll talk more about that, as well as the Fed meeting, where things could go. This morning, I'm also going to talk about, I'm seeing rate sheets that are not reflecting bond prices. In other words, I think lenders are not raising margins, but I think they're trying to navigate volatility, and it leads them to holding on to some of the gains. So I'm going to talk about that this morning. If you're here this morning, say good morning. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Let Facebook and YouTube know that you were here. If you're on Facebook, don't forget to smash that like button, tag an hello friend, share this post in a group. If you are on YouTube, give it a thumbs up if that's back yet. They took that down for a while. I didn't see that thumbs up there. And subscribe. Remember, if you would like a reminder that I'm going live each morning, I do send out a text message. It's absolutely free. Of course, you can unsubscribe at any time. There's no marketing to it. I don't sell your information or anything weird. You can go ahead and sign up at hmmr.io/reminder, or you can use this cool QR code over here. If you're watching on your phone this morning, take a screenshot and then go to your photos, and that QR code will work. I talk about it every time. Tickles me. I love it. I love the QR codes have actually become valuable. They were not a while back. A few years ago, you had to download apps to use them, and people didn't do that and all that stuff. So anyway, let's say hi to the live folks here this morning, all of my wonderful friends. So many of you that join me each day. I appreciate you. Monica Dinkins. Oh, you see the thumbs up? Nice. Good. They might have been a glitch then, because it was missing when I looked at it. Randy Leonhardt. Good morning, Randy. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome. Are you a mortgage originator? Debbie Richardson, good morning, my friend. Christy Reeser, great to see you. Angela Walter is another face here every day. Thank you so much for joining me. Deb Dickinson, Mike Tebow, Monica Dinkins, Mike Brown, Mark Clark, Mike Morano, Sean Segaloff. Good morning, all. Brandy Brickler, Megan Lindberg, Tim Kleila, Mallory Fotiadis, TGIF. I'm with you. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Almir, good morning, sir. Great to have you here. Carly McLeod. I butchered it this time, didn't? It's McLeod. Carly McLeod. Great to have you here. So, see, I got it right the second time. All right, my friends. Well, let's go into it. It looks like there's 37 of you on this morning. Anyone seen Ron Siegel? Where's Ron? What's today's national day? Amy Blauser, good morning. Tom Stafford, Michael Love, great to have you here as well. Candy Williams, good to see you. So somebody tell me, look it up for me, Google, and tell me what today is, what kind of, fancy special day. Good to see you, Randy Zanello. Appreciate you. So, all right, let's take a look here. Let's get started. Quick recap on what happened yesterday. I have the 5-day chart here. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look here. The quick recap of where we were at. You could see the last 5 days has been extremely volatile. It's important we recognize that, because it comes into play with what I'm seeing on rate sheets and rate sheet pricing. But as we take a look here, the last, yesterday, we saw a pretty progressive, steady improvement through the day. One of the more solid days, as we go over here and we look at the candlesticks, it was this green candlestick here, and we broke through the 100-day moving average, this green line, and this morning we've built above that. Now, the technicals have not had much to do with things, because we've seen a lot more of a reaction to headlines and fundamentals, as we call it, rather than the technicals. But, it's still important to take a look at them. Giddy up, Mr. Randy Teakle. And please give Bailey an extra hug today and tell her it's for me. I saw your posts with her, and they're heartwarming, my friend. You are an amazing father. I always knew you were an amazing person and an amazing father, but saying it out loud, my friend, I just you got a wonderful family. Mike Tebow, National Sleep In Day. Yeah, see, Ron Siegel still sleeping. National DNA Day. I don't even know what that heck is. Nice. Tim Klyla said, hold on, where is it? Where is it? One of the best things about staying up to date with our daily updates is when a borrower's son-in-law is a financial planner and wants to discuss the market, and we can speak intelligently about what's happening, and they actually agree. That does have to make you feel good, because they're kind of looking down at you as the mortgage person on that one. So good for you, man. Good for you. Tebow, you're going to be in Charlotte tonight? Good for you, man. That's about 2.5 hours away. My kids live there. It's a great place. Have fun. What are you there for? Let me know. Anyway, let's get to what we were talking about here this morning. Look at these wonderful games. So rate sheets today should be improved. All right. However, I'm seeing a bit of a pattern where it looks like lenders are holding back. And let me explain. So on April 16th, Wednesday, April 16th, mortgage-backed securities closed the day 99.22. Yesterday, they closed the day at 99.20, right? The day before, they had been at 99.06. The day before here was a tremendous lower, 98.77. When we use Mortgage News Daily, and again, we're looking right here at the 16th and the 24th, right? Let's take a look here. On the 16th, Mortgage News Daily was at 6.86 at the end of the day. On the 24th, they were at 6.92. That's, we see that and you go, okay, well, let's give it a little bit. If I go over to Optimal Blue and you look at the 16th was at 6.77 is where we were seeing locks come in. And the 24th was about the same here at 6.77. The problem with Optimal Blue is that gives you a number, but it doesn't account for points. So we don't know what the rebate pricing was. So we were seeing locks that were similar, but the pricing doesn't appear to be the same. It appears to be out. If we take a look at where we're at today we're at 99.37, right? And you could see that in the past, back on March 26th, we were at 99.45, very close. And the 27th, we were at 99.45. So those 2 days, the 26th and 27th, we were just only 8 basis points higher than where we're at now. And when you take a look at the 26th and 27th, we were seeing 6.8, 6.82, right? And again, even this morning, we're going to see rate sheets that are better, but unless they've dropped all the way down to where this shows up at 6.82, it appears that we're seeing things a little bit higher. So just keep that in mind. Now, don't get mad about that. I don't think that lenders are being greedy. I think they're trying to navigate the extreme volatility. And that was, if you remember, if I put this back up on the chart for a minute and put this full screen, that's why I was showing you that 5-day chart. And when you look at the lender reprices, according to Mortgage News Daily, like yesterday, there were quite a few reprices better as the day went on. And that's because lenders were starting out a little conservative. For what we saw, there were quite a few reprices better through the day. But if you look the day before, there were 28 reprices worse, 1 reprice worse, 18. That's not big numbers when you look at this kind of volatility. So what my point is it appears that lenders are kind of pricing conservatively, maybe holding back some of those gains because of volatility. And if we see that settle down, it opens the door for some better rate sheet pricing. Not huge differences, but definitely some differences. Let me know if the comments, if that's making sense to y'all. And if you have seen that, the dates that I would have you compare it to, again, as long as this 5.5 coupon gets up to, close to that 99.45 mark, we want to compare that to the the March 26th and 27th, and see where things stand on that. 10-year Treasury yield this morning is at 4.28. Reprice risk on the day remains high. I hope it's going to be a quiet day, but we still have to be ready for any kind of random headline and things that could change all that stuff out. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate you providing that. Monica Dinkinson, today's National Zucchini Bread Day, National Plumbers Day, and National Arbor Day. Arbor is trees, right? Cheers to the plumbers. And I like banana bread. My mother-in-law makes awesome banana bread and zucchini bread. A lot of people like the zucchini bread. I don't think there needs to be zucchini in it. I don't think you taste the zucchini. Zucchini is not a why did we I think people made zucchini bread because they grew a bunch of zucchini and there's really not much else to do with it. I mean, zucchini's boring. So banana is much better. I like banana bread. Let me know in the comments if you guys like. Anyone really like zucchini bread? I don't see it. So anyway, today reprice risk is high as it has been. We need to be ready for random headlines that things could change. Right now, we're seeing continued improvement because we're seeing positive stuff coming out of the mouth of Trump and the trade stuff. So in an interview with Time Magazine, let me see where I have this here. In an interview with Time Magazine, Trump said that he sees trade deals getting done in 3 to 4 weeks, and he expects to wrap up trade deals with partners looking for lower tariffs soon. That's good news. That's why markets have been reacting positively the last couple of days. I would say over the next 3 to 4 weeks, and we're finished, by the way. I don't know what that means. Like, if they're finished, why are they not announcing them? But okay. I'll be finished now. Some countries may come back and ask for an adjustment, and I'll consider that. But I'll basically be with great knowledge setting ready, he added. I don't know what that means either. Now, I saw an interview on, I think it might have been like MSNBC this morning, of one of the interviewers that was in that Time Magazine interview. And he said that Trump was a little more combative and a little more evasive than in a couple of the past interviews, which came after more positive times, this being with more negativity out there. But, you know, Trump also at the White House with reporters there said getting along very well with Japan and an agreement is very close. So right now we haven't really felt any of the tariff stuff come in. Ron Siegel pointed out that a lot of companies will source at other places. I don't know where it is. Maybe I think it actually shows up. I think it shows up here. Apple plans to build most of its iPhones for the US and India by the end of next year. So Ron was right about the idea that we would get things from other places, but it takes time. And that's kind of the killer. So what would Apple eat the difference? Would they raise prices on iPhones? That's the question that we would see, during that time, depending on what would happen here. And, they're still going to move forward with this, but it's there. So we've got some positive stuff from Trump. Also, China came out. I don't know how valid this is, but it's being reported that they're considering suspending their 125% tariff. It was a retaliatory tariff on some U.S. imports as the economic costs of the tit-for-tat trade war weigh heavily on certain industries. Separately, the Politburo also pledged to set up new monetary tools and policy financing instruments to boost technology, consumption, and trade. So these are positive headlines this morning. They're helping bonds, and we're seeing things well. If we see something turn as it can, then we're going to see negativity, and lenders will reprice worse quickly because it's Friday and they don't know what to do. So as far as the outlook, next week is jobs data. So that has a lot to do with things because next week, if that jobs data on Friday, we're going to get JOLTS, of course. ADP is much less important. We'll get continuing claims on Thursday, which comes in every Thursday. That's your unemployment numbers. But Friday's BLS jobs data, of course, the big number. And depending on the reaction to that, if it is any kind of weakness, it could provide the Fed with some reason to go ahead and consider cutting. And that's going to be a big deal. So that's what we've got going on there. And then, of course, May 7th. So it's about 10 days away now. May 7th, will be the Fed meeting. And if we look at the picture on the Fed meeting, it's funny because I read some of these articles and they're like, oh, well, whichever Fed member the day or two ago said, a June cut could be on the table. And it's like, market's been pricing in a June cut for months. It didn't really change anything, but the headlines will make it, the media makes it sound like we saw a strong reaction to that. And we really didn't, because markets were already pricing that in. Markets are pricing in, it's about a 2/3, right? They're pricing in an expectation of a June Fed rate cut. Now, remember, if the Fed does cut rates in June, it's not going to help mortgage rates all that much, because it's already going to have been accounted for. And what markets are looking at May 7th, it's going to be, they're going to get a shot going after Powell. The Fed is in their blackout period, by the way, after today. So it's the Saturday before the meeting. So about 10 days before the meeting, around this time, the Fed will be on blackout. We won't be hearing from any Fed members anymore. And you'll hear some articles coming out of the Wall Street Journal and Nick Timiraos and, the Fed Whisperer there. But other than that, it's going to be quiet on the Fed front, and everyone's going to want to go back and ask Powell questions about the drama with Trump, and he'll downplay it. He's an adult. He's not going to call Trump a loser like Trump called him a loser. But the big thing is they're going to be looking for the Fed to cut. And it won't take much, little changes in what's said, markets are going to grab onto and hold on to. So how much could rates improve over the coming weeks? Probably not too much, maybe another eighth or quarter point, but the door is open for that, especially if you believe, like I do, that lender rate sheets are maybe a little conservative right now and they haven't passed along those gains. If we continue to see improvement, it'll make them more comfortable. You'll see more of those gains come along. They're hungry for business. So you'll see more of that hit the rate sheet. But so where does that put us? Lock advice, cautiously float. I've been saying to lock anything the last couple of days that's closing near term. Cautiously float to start the day, but by the end of the day, consider locking, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We don't know what Monday's going to bring, right? You just don't. So there's a good shot. If you got a loan closing in the next couple of weeks, you need to have at least 2 weeks before it closes, if you're going to float. Otherwise, I would lock it. Like anything that's closing, next week, I would have had locked. I would definitely lock it today. Even anything closing by the Fed meeting by the 7th, I would consider locking, because you'd have to float all the way out. We're not likely. We're going to see the volatility, but we don't have any events that we can count on to give us help until May 2nd. And and for that to hit rate sheets, it's going to take a while. I'm looking at the side here because for those of you that don't know, when you see me look over here, I'm looking at my calendar. Oh, that's terrible. Hold on, let me get rid of stop sharing, and let's get rid of center stage and portrait. There you go. So I'm looking at my calendar and all the different things going on, and everything there. So that's kind of why when you see me look over there, that's what I'm looking at. But anyway, my friends, I just don't trust it. Let me know in the comments what how you feel about it. I'm curious, but again, I know that people, there's certainly strong Trump supporters. I like a lot of things about Trump's activities and actions and other things. What I don't have patience for is when he's juvenile and he calls people names. And I just don't like that. It's not my style. And I just think it makes us all look it paints a bad picture. It makes us look bad as Americans. So, but anyway, Jerry Avila, no thanks on the zucchini bread, right? Allison, you like zucchini bread? I don't get it. Zucchini salad, yeah, but again, zucchini doesn't have a lot of flavor. It does hold oil well, though, if you use flavored oil. Brenda Jenkins says sandbagging. Sandbagging, you mean holding the rate sheets back a little bit? Is that what you mean by sandbagging? But otherwise, all right, my friends. Well, anyway, have a great weekend. What are you guys doing this weekend? Let me know in the comments what y'all are doing this weekend. My wife and mother-in-law are on a scrapbooking adventure. One of their, 3-day, multi-day scrapbooking. It's funny though, because they're only 15 minutes from my house. They're actually at it's very close. But I, of course, will be busy honeydew listing it, going over to my son's house and helping him put in shower doors into his bathtub shower, so the cats don't jump in the shower and drink the leftover water in the shower pan. So we'll be doing that tonight, and then tomorrow, I'm going to be working on the barn. The electrician's coming for the barn, and so I'm excited about that. And then, of course, I'll be doing some stuff to the kitchen. I'm kind of on a hiatus on the kitchen though until I could put the trim around the floor around the island. I probably need to get that done soon, but otherwise, I'm kind of waiting to get the wall oven in because that's my last appliance. The dishwasher's in, the induction is in. Hey, who else? Does anyone else have an induction cooktop? I have cooked on a couple induction cooktops and I wasn't that impressed. This Bosch unit, it's a Bosch 800 cooktop. This thing is a friggin' monster. I heated up soup yesterday. No joke. It took like 30 seconds to boil. Soup in a cold pot on the stove. I put it on speed boost. 30 seconds later, it was bubbling and hot. Insane. It's insane. And I like the way I can drop the temperature very quickly. I'm starting to get used to cooking on it, so I'm enjoying it. Tom Stafford, 28th wedding anniversary. Welcome to the club, sir, and congratulations. I think, let's see, I was married in 97. So yeah, this will be my 28th in October as well. So you beat me to it. But good for you, man. Good for you. What kind of picture did Biden paint? Dude, here's the thing, right? When we talk about one, we don't always have to compare it to the other. I was embarrassed with Biden. Totally agree. He reminded me of my father-in-law who had Parkinson's and dementia. And it was obvious early on that Biden had dementia. And that does not play well either. But he's gone. So let's let it go. Let's talk about where we're at now. GA Renfest. What is Renfest? Georgia, is that like a Renaissance festival? Is that what that is? Everyone, please congratulate Mr. Stafford, 28 years. Congratulate Tom's wife, actually, for putting up with Tom for 28 years. Hunt test weekend with the dogs, Randy? Is that what that is with the dogs? You're gonna get the pointers, the retrievers, rather. So, Julie, you're awesome. Julie says happy anniversary. And again, award your wife. So, all right, my friends. So thank you for joining me. Appreciate having all of you. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I will see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend, y'all. Bye-bye.